Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 128 of 365 days of awesome Celebrate Success Through Service. And we are so honored to have our service hero today, Dr. Dante Sears. I mean, I am so excited I can hardly even say it. I have been wanting this woman on the show for a while, and I am so honored. And in fact, we have a story to tell today because it was like we almost didn't visit. And this woman is such a trooper. Let me tell you that she will tell you. I will give that one away. But I want to welcome you, Dr. Dante, and just say thank you for being who you are, number one, because you are an amazing person. You just really are. And then you are a trooper too, because today's been quite a day for you, hasn't it?
Yes, today's been crazy day, and I think it's just a test from the universe, from God to say, okay, can you do this against all odds? So here I am. But thank you so much for that sweet compliment, Tamara. I think you're amazing. We connected the first time on the red carpet, and I was like, this woman is just beaming. You didn't know what you were doing on the red carpet, and you were like, okay, yeah. And so I remember I came over and helped you, and you were just like beaming. You're like, thank you so much. And I said, I love this woman.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell the story, guys. I am, I am what I am, and I am from the backwoods of San Diego County, and red carpets I've never done. This is the first time. And so I actually, they said, we'll go through the red carpet. And I'm like, I don't know how to stand. I don't know how to do any of this. Dante comes right up to me and she starts showing me and working with me, and I'm posing and we're working it. And it was, oh my gosh, I had the best time. And I just thank you for that experience because I'll never forget it. It was amazing. So,
well, thank you. I just want to say this, Tamara. That day, there were a lot of beautiful people there, but you were the most beautiful person there. You were the one person who stood out the most to me. It was your smile. It was your humility. I was like, this woman, there's something about her. I kept looking at you, and of all the people, you're the only person I remember from that red carpet. Can you believe that? Just by showing up and being authentic, that was beautiful.
No, and in fact, and okay. Rest of the story, I went in because I didn't have anything that was appropriate, quote unquote, for a red carpet. And I had, and one of my mentors, Allison Larson, said, don't worry about it. Just go in your jeans and go in your shirt that's, says find a way to win, because that's one of our images for Chemo Buddies for Life. Just show it. And so everybody's there in these gowns and tops, pink sandals, but they were wedges at least, my jeans and my like shirt, and you, that is, that I want to cry. I just thank you for sharing.
And I so mean that. That's so true. And you taught me something that day, because the red carpet is so stressful. It's like, what am I going to wear? I'm immortalized. People are going to be tagging, and it's a little nerve wracking. But you just were like, hey, I'm here. And it was beautiful. Seriously, love it. So I think that's just a good thing for all women to think about. Is like, I was just telling someone that I don't tend to be on time to events. It's just not my thing. Like, I am in my own time frame. But I've noticed that if I show up in my timing, then I show up. And if I don't, then I don't show up, and people keep going, are you okay? Are you okay? And then the attention is turned towards like, what's wrong with you? So I go, okay, I'm showing up and being present, and that's what matters the most. And that's what you did.
Oh, well, thank you. And you know what? The one thing I have learned this time around, if you will, in my career, because I was semi-retired when I faced cancer, and now I have the nonprofit and the Service Heroes program, and just really out there. And the thing I have learned this time around is authenticity, because for so many, and James Zuli, he has the baby boomer show, and he teases me, oh, you're not a boomer, and I am a boomer.
You are?
Yeah, I am a boomer. Yeah, I'm at the tail end of the boomers, but I am a boomer. And
Oh.
so he teases with me on that. And one thing that we were taught as boomers were, fake it till you make it. Just, that
Mm-hmm.
whole suck it up, just show, not just show up, but fake it till you make it. Smile and, be that clown with the smile kind of thing. And now there
Clown.
must be an awareness that we need to be authentic and be in,
Yes.
there's a fine balance in everything, I know, but
There's a
I love,
divine balance in everything, right? It's a divine balance, I think. Yes.
yeah, you're right. And you know what, I'm not going to be able to keep up with everybody saying hello if I don't start showing them. But we've got some friends joining us right now. We've got Pauline.
Awesome.
Hello, Pauline. We have
Hi,
Tina.
Pauline.
And Tina from our duo, Tina and
Hi,
Amy, the two of them.
Tina.
And we have
Beautiful.
Teresa Snyder on. I love you too.
Love
And
Teresa.
and she's just what we talked about, and then we have Hope Cortez. And hello, Hope.
Hi. Oh.
I love your name, Hope. Love it,
I
love
don't
it.
know her yet, but I love her name. Yes.
Too. It's one of the wash everything through with my nonprofit: humor, hope, and heart.
I
Everything,
love that. Well, you're doing a
everything.
great job. It says over here that you've got 999 viewers, Tamara.
Oh, really? Well, that's nice. I
Yes.
love it.
I'll
We'll
screenshot that
take it.
for you.
Okay,
I can. Let's see.
I will say this: that we've got some really wonderful people a part of our following. We have people throughout the world that are watching this show and coming to me and letting me know that it's giving them a really, truly a feel good attitude about life. And that is why this show was started. And this is something, it goes into what we were just talking about. And I really want to transition into that. And Service Heroes was started because I was noticing that a few of my chemo buddies were
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yes. Oh, where'd you go? Tamara, you disappeared. Can you hear
are
me?
you, yeah, I can see you and I
Oh,
can
there you
hear
go.
you.
I'm like, what? She just disappeared into the matrix.
I did a genie thing. It crazy, a sidebar. When I was up in Park City, they gave us nicknames, right? And mine was the I Dream a Genie character. So
Oh,
I
I
just felt
love
like
that.
I did a genie thing. Well, okay, so back into this worldwide, I love the internet because we can communicate with people throughout the world. And I used to be an international headhunter, a recruiter for part of my
Oh, very
my
cool.
and we did not have the internet. Let me just tell you, there was
It
nothing
was
like
all like a
that.
Rolodex, and you had to go through each person with
Yeah,
their
yeah,
picture and
I had
everything
one
with
of
like
those
a
little
Polaroid.
yeah, one of those round, big, huge, round ones. I
Oh,
felt like I was really styling. But and now to have the internet and where we can touch people throughout the world, and that really goes into what you're doing, right? Because you first of all, let's make it clear, you truly are a doctor, aren't you, Dante?
yes.
Dr. Dante.
Yes, I have two doctors. I have
We
two.
are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Froze. Oh, it froze. I'm like, ah. Yes, I'm a double doctorate. I have a doctor. I'm a doctor of divinity and also a metaphysical doctor. And so I think they're very much sort of intertwined because it doesn't sound like it at first, but divinity has to do with your spiritual nature. We're energy first. E equals MC squared literally means that like. The part that's missing from this equation that people don't understand is that E equals MC squared means that there's only one energy and we're all sharing it. It literally means like God is all and we are all sharing it. So I use those sciences to heal the mind and body. And I basically can reverse terminal, genetic, and incurable disease just by talking to someone and aligning them with their true identity, which is why I love what you're doing, because cancer has so much to do with how you're feeling on the inside. See, a person that gets cancer is someone that is a service hero. Okay, so it's so funny that you created this. I'm going to link this together for you. A cancer warrior, a person with cancer, is a service hero because they're actually someone who becomes sick from servicing people more than they service themselves. And they feel that they can't sort of be themselves and just also take service back. So what you're doing is so beautiful. I feel like you're going to cause a lot of healing in people because you're allowing them to take recognition for their service and be acknowledged for who they are. And that literally kills cancer cells. It destroys disease in a person's body.
That is amazing. And, you know, and I'm getting chills, and I'm getting chills on my knees.
Goosebumps everywhere.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm getting something here.
You're in your purpose just by doing what you wanted to do. You fell right into your purpose. I love it.
Isn't that amazing? It is kind of that I fell into it. I will tell you that. But I also feel as though all my whole life I was going towards something, and now I feel like I'm there. I'm going to say something, and then I want to double back to something else. And we've got a lot of people making comments, and I don't want them to feel like they're being ignored. But one thing my grandmother used to always say, my grandmother was one of my heroes, and I'm really lucky. I came from a very, very amazing, set of grandparents, couple sets of grandparents. And my grandmother used to always say, a quiet act of kindness. And she would actually tear the thank you note. She'd keep it, but it was torn, meaning that she'd looked at it and she's not going to look at it anymore, but she doesn't want anybody else to see it because she felt that you get your reward in heaven if you don't talk about it here on earth. And that was kind of the mentality that I was raised with. And I actually thought about that a lot through, my life. And then when I was faced with the cancer and the chemo buddies and everything going on, I'm like, heck no, we need to start. There's too much negative out there, too much negative news, too much negative everything that's running rampant. If it bleeds, it leads, that whole mentality. And the quiet act of kindness, it's taking place, but it's being quiet. And so it was like, okay, if someone
more quietness.
Right, if someone else is sharing that someone is doing something really great, and then they start to own it, and not puffed up owning it. We're not talking about getting that big head and everything.
Yes, not bragging, owning that your kindness, that you did it. Yes. Right.
That positive, wonderful, loving energy, right, that comes from people and when they're acting out of kindness and service. And it's amazing what's been happening. But let's do this. Okay, so I want to continue with what it is that you're doing. And let's see here. We have Tucker. That's here. Hey, Tucker.
Hi,
and
Tucker.
Now you can see it. Yes. Okay. So now there's a spook in the house. Oh, it's Halloween time. I get it. Okay. And then Tucker is loving this. I'm so glad, Tucker. And then Brandon in the house. Hey, Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
Is it Brandon, my brother? Brandon Coe?
No, Brandon Shum.
Oh, another Brandon. Hey, Brandon, brother from another mother.
Yeah, Brandon from another mother. Then I'm the other mother too, because I have a Brandon I gave birth to.
Wow, very cool.
And then Tucker's actually saying hi to you, and
hi,
that
Tucker.
we're both. And then we got Kelly in the house. Hey, Kelly, love you, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Kelly Rodella.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
And then we've got Tina sharing this. And, Tucker is sharing God is energy. Thank you, Tucker.
Yes, God is all energy. What he's saying is so true. The thing that I learned through healing is that when someone denies God, they're literally denying their own existence. So if you deny God and you say, I don't believe in God, you're literally saying, I don't believe in myself. Right. And so I suspect that has a lot to do with, that scientist that passed away not too long ago. He was so brilliant, but he said, oh, there's no God, this string theory guy. I can't think of his name right now. But you're literally saying
Stephen
I don't
Hawkins
believe
is
in the
who?
energy. Yeah, you're saying I don't believe in the energy that powers me. And if you don't believe in it, then it doesn't believe in you in a certain way. And it's a really magical thing. So we've got to harness that. So good comment there. That was Tucker, right?
Excellent. And then let's see, we've got Tina who's saying, "Oh my gosh, that's my mom." So I'm not sure what you're talking about, Tina, but we'll have to find that out. You'll have to tell us more about that one.
I'm Tina's
and then,
mom. And I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I wish she's such a doll.
I love Tina. I love
I'd
it.
go straight to
And
grandkids.
Dante is so right. Pauline is saying cancer patients are service heroes, and Pauline knows about this. She knows it. Amazing. Shout out to Pauline and what she's doing. You're helping her, aren't you? You've been working with her.
Oh, yes. It's been such a joy to work with Pauline. I think of her as like my fairy godmother. She's just, just with her magic and everything. So yeah, I've been working on her project and her brand, and I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can have magical conversations. Pixie dust in there too. Expect to hear a little sound. And we're not making light of it, Pauline. I'm sure you're in there
she's amazing.
Because she's got the best spirit about her. Let's see, we've got so many. I don't want to be missing everybody, but we got Eric Zuli in the house.
I was just thinking Eric Zuli. I'm like, where's Eric Zuli? I've got to say something about him, even if he's not here.
Yeah, no, he's here. He's acknowledging me too, and
Hi,
thank you, Eric. And yes, and we'll go into that in a minute. So everybody that doesn't know exactly what is happening with that, oh, thanks. Pauline thanks, fairy godmother. Woohoo!
I love it. She is. I'm ready to get her the pumpkin carriage and the wand, and she's fixing conversations. She's creating magic between women.
Yeah, I love it.
And men, yes.
Let's just get rid of this. Anybody that doesn't know, why don't you tell us about this picture?
Well, what can I say? That is Eric Zuli. That's my sweetheart. We've been dating for a couple years, and he's like my other half. He's like my pale, tall male twin. I'm not calling you pale, honey, but compared to me. So I don't know. I'm half of a power couple, I guess you would say, or one of two. But he's just someone that we read each other's minds. We finish each other's sentences. We think of the same thoughts. We do the same things at the same time. And everyone in town, when I came back to LA, kept saying to me when they met me, "Wow, that's a great business plan. Do you know Eric Zuli?" And I'd go, "Why?" And they go, "Because you remind me of him." And I'm going, "Are you saying I look like a guy?" And it happened so many times, Tamara. I mean, it was literally at least 100 people over a year that said to me, "Do you know Eric Zuli? Do you know Eric Zuli?" And I'm like, "Who is Eric Zuli?" So the first time we talked, boom. I mean, we just never stopped talking. It was just magic.
Magical.
So we were actually referred by the entire, talk about your friends are the people who refer you to your love, the person you're meant to be with or whatever. But everyone did that, including my ex-boyfriend.
Everybody saw it, huh?
Yeah, including my ex-boyfriend, who was like, "You need to meet him. You remind me of him. This is who you're supposed to be with." And I'm like, "What?"
That's something right there.
That's weird, right?
That's actually very sweet, because that means
yes.
That's a lot for you, even that your ex-boyfriend would say that.
While we were dating too, he said, "Eric is the guy you're supposed to be with."
Now that's funny. I agree.
Isn't it? He literally pulled over and was like, "I can't take anymore. I have to tell you." And he showed me Eric's video. And the minute I saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is my type." But I was like, no. Because what do you say to that? I was like, this is so weird.
That is unique. So, okay, so let's get down to, we have so much that we can discuss, and everybody's trying to chat with this because it's just so much fun. But you are incredible. Besides being a doctor of metaphysics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Metaphysics, you have your own broadcasting network, right?
Yes.
The World Prosperity Network. you have your own brands that you are working with. You have your own shows, and you have your own platform, as well as you team with the Easy Way
Easy way.
brands, and Eric, because you are one of the chief officers for the Easy Way also, right? The Easy Way brands.
Yes, the Easy Way Network. Exactly. That's correct. So I came back to LA in 2010. I'd moved to Texas, and I had a vision. I literally had a vision. Like God literally just smacked me in the head. I'd been asking for 15 years, why do you allow suffering? Why do you allow suffering? I can't love you because you allow suffering. And it was really tearing at me because I love God. I would go to my altar call every single week as a kid over and over to make sure he knew I'm yours. But I felt like, why is this suffering? Why do kids get hurt? And so one day God just literally smacked me over the head and said, Dante, I don't allow suffering, you do. And it was the most profound vision I'd ever seen. And he showed me all the ways that in our conveniences and in the things that we do, we just don't think about how it harms other people. And we sort of don't care because, we've just been conditioned that way. I know like we eat animals and things like that, or people do, and they go, oh, I love eating animals. Urgh. And the thing about that is that energy is not good, because if you don't think that that's someone's baby and just at least have respect for it in some kind of way, then who's going to respect your baby when someone harms it? And so that's what God showed me, was you need to honor all of my creations. And I'm not perfect at this, but in that he gave me this vision for World Prosperity Network of how we could make it perfect. And he said, if you care that a child in the Congo or a child in Afghanistan isn't eating, and you make a conscious effort to try to change this in some way, then you will be a part of the solution and not the problem. And then you can really say that you're not causing suffering. So he gave me this vision for the World Prosperity Network, that we teach businesses that, for first of all, if we look at our world and how it's kind of looking like a mess in the media and all that, we have to realize that this is business. And what we're experiencing here all around us is business, it's industry. And so when business and industry forgets that it's the little person who put them in that place, and they stop helping those people turn into like a zombie apocalypse. They're like, nah, they tear up your business, they yell at you online, they destroy you. And so if businesses would remember that and stay in that alignment of, for instance, multiple major corporations, it costs them $30,000 minimum to attract one new customer. So if you're going to spend $30,000 to attract me, because they're spending multi-million dollars going, we're the best, we're the friendliest. But if I walk in your business and the customer service is awful and the rep is on their phone ignoring me, then I didn't get that experience, and you wasted your $30,000. And now I'm going to go on social media and tell other people, and I'm going to tell my friends, and that's multiplied in this day. So my job is to show businesses how this directly leads to their bottom line. I'm from the Sears family, and my great grandmother would always say, you can't fill a bucket with a hole in it. And that was our Sears family thing, is like, you fill the hole and then you fill the bucket. So these companies are dumping millions of dollars. Go ahead.
I want to stop you there. It was a little sound problem, and I want to go back and say, what family are you from? And so that they understand where you're coming from in this, because it's powerful.
Oh, thank you. So it's kind of interesting. I'm from the Sears family, which is Sears, Roebuck, and also Coleman, which is the lighters inside of the lanterns that they sold in the camping gear. So this isn't even known in human history, but I found it in my own family chart that I'm not only a Sears, I'm a Roebuck and a Coleman, and our families have been together since the early 1700s. And the official story was that Sears was a white guy and Roebuck was black. But my aunt, Betty Alice Coleman, was a Sears and a Roebuck. And so it's a very interesting story that needs to be told. And one day I will tell it, but my family is very big into like, just in humanitarianism, and, it's very heart-centered and also very entrepreneurial. So does that answer that part of it?
Well, okay, so this genetically, this is really fascinating, because when you start thinking about Sears and Roebuck were one of the first ones to think about doing something unique, and that was advertising through paper, right?
Oh my
and
gosh, you just brought up my newest project. Keep going. I love it.
I love history. I am a history buff, and I love business history. I love it. So, you go back to the history of Sears and Roebuck and what was happening in the period of time that they started all of this. They were on to something huge.
Yes.
And so then they always kind of stayed ahead of the game for so long.
Oh, do you remember the Sears catalog? Was that cool when you were a kid? I mean, the Sears Christmas catalog was like life-giving. I mean, I lived for it.
I was 13 years old, and I purchased everything from my own room by babysitting and doing other entrepreneurial type of businesses. And I had it all marked out. And then my mother would go ahead and I would call it from. So no, I don't just remember it. I remember saving my money, buying it, or calling, ordering it, buying it, and then it coming.
So exciting. You lived the dream. You actually lived the dream of the Sears catalog. I ripped those pages out, put them on my walls and everything. And I was like, I want this. I want this. I mean, that was my life. I made vision boards out of it. So funny you should say that, because I just had a vision the other day, and it was, we're going to bring back the Sears catalog, but it's going to be called the Sears wish list. And instead of it just being products, we're also going to include services. Because I have all these amazing, as you said, service heroes, right? Service people that have great offers. And I want to bring that into the realm and help people to monetize their gifts, because, we have all these gifted people around us and we need that way. And I'm going, what would be magical? The Sears catalog. We need that back.
I agree. I'm in line. I love it. I totally stamp Tamara's stamp of approval on this. I know a lot of people will say, yes, Dante, yes.
Yay.
In fact, we have some people that are also history buffs. We've got Teresa, knowledge of history is beautiful. And then, and Kelly's like, yes, love. She's like, yes, I want that. And Teresa's
and we're
awesome.
going to connect it to nonprofit too. That's the most important part, because, that's the thing is that, if we don't take care of people, then they pile up on our doorstep. I feel like that's what The Walking Dead is about. I went around and I actually surveyed the homeless people in my neighborhood back in LA for a year, and I followed them around, and I learned that all of these people have a contribution. They all do a job, even if we can't see it. So if we can find a way to connect them to their purpose, because they do have a purpose for us. They remind us of how grateful we should be for what we have, and that other people are in need. So if we honor these people by our businesses helping them in the community, the difference of a business that does that versus one that doesn't, I literally watched this. The businesses that took care of the homeless people and were kind to them, they'd sweep their door, they'd do security for them. Nobody messes with that business. But the ones that were mean to them, they would, do their business on their property and leave trash there. And I went, look at this. This is a perfect example of why we need to have people over profits, and why World Prosperity Network is going to help people win.
So where can people follow you on the WPN, the World Prosperity Network? If they, because I'll tell you, I love it.
Oh,
so
thank you.
You're welcome. Is it something that's streaming? Is it something on TV? If it's something that's coming, where can we find you on that?
Okay, so let me explain that. So actually, my broadcasting network is Dante TV, DanteTV.tv, and that's dynamic alignment neurotransformative entertainment, because when I'm talking, I'm actually rewiring people's brains for wellness. So my words are actually medicine. So I created Dante TV that I can, I don't want to say infect, that's not the word, inflict, so I can infuse, I'm looking for the positive word, yes, infuse that in other people to literally give them oxygen in life. So DanteTV.tv, and that's something that is still in the works, but that's where you can watch. World Prosperity Network is a people network, and your network is your net worth, which is your people are your value. So my movement is Heal Your Wealth, which is all about, your wealth is you first. It's your family. It's the things you care about. So, of course, you all can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Dr. Dante Sears on Instagram, and I'm Dante Sears on most other things. But you can go to WPNcoin.com. That's our cryptocurrency for World Prosperity Network, and you can register there. And we're developing worldprosperitynetwork.com. That's in development, but you can definitely start checking that out.
And we have Sharon. Sharon's one I always highlight Sharon because she's one of our senior ambassadors for Chemo Buddies for Life, and I mean she takes care of all of us at Chemo Buddies.
Hi,
we
Sharon.
all know she.
Is she a chemo warrior too? A cancer warrior?
Oh, she is a double warrior.
Wow.
And yes, and
congratulations.
And she is. Everybody is getting to know Sharon. Many of the service heroes, because Sharon's story is very unique. Right now, she's basically a shut-in. She can't go outside of the house because she is in treatment. But she travels outside of the house through all of us. And then she kind of like is the hub of the wheel. She's taking care of this and she's taking care of that. She's making sure that this person's doing that.
Amazing.
Connected and that no one's feeling alone. Sharon is an amazing woman and just
Sharon, we love you. We want to give you so much recognition and love and let you know that you're loved. My father, unfortunately had cancer when I was a kid, and this is how I became who I am. So anyone that's going through that struggle, I want to support them because my whole thing, I decided at 5 years old that I am going to make sure that, I wanted to be Oprah, Tony Robbins, and Janet Jackson, but I decided that I'm going to make sure that I can help anyone who wants to heal from that disease so that their children don't have to grow up without them, and also that they can, be in a healthiir place. Because look at what she's doing now. Look at she's a warrior. I mean, wow.
Yeah, we have quite a few of them. In fact, I want you to know, I know we're going to see each other. In fact, Eric was reminding me, and I was going to bring it up, that we will be seeing
Success Summit.
Yeah, at Jason Burke's. They're in Las Vegas. It's the 9th, 10th, and the 11th, right? And of November at the Palms. And
technically it's the 8th to the 12th, yes.
Okay, the 8th to the 12th. There you go. 8th to the 12th. And then you and Eric are going to be MCs and helping to get this whole thing rocking and rolling, and an amazing speaker lineup. And in fact, I get to talk about Chemo Buddies and our upcoming, our first fundraiser. And I wanted to actually kind of go into that with what you're sharing right now. And that is that we will be doing our first fundraiser 2 weeks later in Vegas, because we're feeling the love in Vegas. And a lot of people have been supporting us. And we are working to bring 4 of our buddies to actually there, And what I have found in reaching out and really getting to know all of our buddies is that they really are some of the most positive people that I know. And I don't, did it start that way? I didn't know most of them before. But when you're going through something like this, you start to see.
Yes. You let go. Yes. I always say with cancer, there's 2 ways to go about it. It's like either you go through so much pain and suffering from it, you go, that's it. I'm just going to live my life. I'm going to let go. And then all of a sudden you start to spontaneously heal, because I really think it's the fight in the person that heals them, not the chemo. It's really you that comes forward and says, that's it. And, you let that breath of life into yourself and boom.
I will say that I really do believe that is a big part of it. How it all works. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to claim, but I know that my doctors, because I have a very young oncologist, a couple of them, and they're very, very open-minded and very forward-thinking. And in fact, that's why Chemo Buddies for Life came about. It was at their, they wanted to bottle my original chemo buddy and myself, and that energy that we had, because the energy from within, that belief, that doing it together, not being alone, not isolating
Yes.
ourselves, not
Yes.
going negative, right?
Yes.
And when you and I have visited before, because we've gotten to know each other and had some nice conversations, and you've shared about your father with me and about your story and how it really did affect your whole educational way of, and where you've gone
Everything.
and
It's why I'm who I am today. Yes.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And it always gives me shivers every time we talk, because there's so much, because my doctors will tell you, if someone has that fight in them, if and fight, positive, whatever, alignment, whatever that is, which I don't understand it, know that it's that spirit to keep going and to find a way to win, right? Okay, that
Yes.
alignment. Okay.
It's this inner thing that's going on, and if you don't mind, if I want to say just a little bit about it, because I would hate for anyone to
Yeah.
go through
Oh, I
this
would love,
disease.
no, because we have a few of our chemo buddies on right now.
Oh,
Yes.
great. So,
Yes.
my dad, by the way, was not just any guy. He was a triathlete. He was basketball, baseball, football. He would have been the first Bo Jackson. He was drafted to play for the White Sox when they had him go for a physical, and they told him, you have cancer, and, they operated on him and it metastasized is what happened. But in this, I have, since I was maybe 10 years old, started reading cancer oncology reports. And so I have an innate knowledge of them that even some actual medical doctors don't have. And first and foremost, breathing. Cancer it's literally cell death. See, when we're born, we breathe in and out. But when we are under stress, we breathe backwards. And so if you might notice that when you breathe in, your stomach goes in instead of out. And when you breathe out, your stomach is going out. And that is backwards. It means you're not getting air into your oxygen into your cells, which is what causes the black death of the cells, and then that spreads. That's the physical side of it. The metaphysical side of it, the emotional side of it, which is actually what controls everything, is in your limbic system, which controls the entire brain. And so literally they have found that your memories are what is actually triggers disease. Memories created between 0 and 8 years old. So how you handle stress based on what you learned from your family, like you probably were like, serve, 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 keep your mouth shut. That keeping the mouth shut, that bottling, is what caused the cell death. So if you would have been like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and been in alignment with yourself about it and felt good about it all the way down, and not that, oh, I've got to be this service person, I've got to do it because everyone's counting on me, where you find that alignment that this is who I am. And I love servicing people. And when I can, it's okay to say no. And when my needs aren't being met, it's okay to say, hey, my needs aren't being met and I need them to be. So this communication that we have with ourselves and then with the outside world is absolutely 100% what you can use to prevent disease. So it has more to do with your breathing, how you handle stress, and how you think about how you're handling your stress. So if you don't feel good inside, you need to deal with that. You need to talk about it. You need to take some deep breaths and meditate on that, pray about it, and then figure out what's the best way to communicate, because it's 900% communication with yourself and with the outside world. And lastly, the biggest part of cancer has to do with your needs and your wants. Cancer is a division between your needs and your wants. See, you have to approach something as a whole being. But when you say, I have to go do this, but I want to go do that, and they're separated, you're literally pulling your spirit energy in two places. Now, there's nothing here to sustain your body, and this is causing cell death. But when you say, I need to go to work, or I need to help this person because it feels good or whatever, and I want to go do this other thing, and I'm going to do it after I do it, and you make a plan for yourself instead of going, I need to do this. That is what will align you and heal your body. It's just understanding that needs and wants, they have to go together. It's okay if you don't like your job right now, then say, I don't like this job, but it's helping me to do the things I want to do. Now, see how we're all in the same place instead of, I have to go to work and then I've got to do this. You can't do this and live. You've got to do this and be in alignment. So health is all about being your authentic self, being in alignment and having good communication with yourself and the world.
Wow.
That will save your life if you just understand those few things.
Sharon just said it because she started this as you were talking. Boy, wow, interesting. Absolutely, Sharon, you are so right. This is huge. This is huge.
It is. It's really not out there as much as it should be. And I'm surprised by that because it's so simple.
You know, I had this discussion yesterday or the day before, and that was what we talked about yesterday. It was, you know, this is really simple, and yet it's huge. And it goes back to that whole KISS. Keep it simple.
Yes.
You know,
and
right?
Love yourself. Self-love.
Right.
Number one.
Yes. Yeah, self-love. That 4-letter word is a very important 4-letter word, that love word. And yes, to love yourself unconditionally.
Yes.
And if
wholeheartedly.
Finding a way to do that, working through whatever you need to work through to get into that alignment. Oh my, you know, you just. Oh,
sorry, okay? I just got I get downloads all the time. So I got the download, and it was, who were you before everyone told you who you should be? That's who you are. And when you align to that, when you just go back to who you were as a little kid and those dreams that you had, and then grow yourself up from there, is if you had everything, you believed in yourself, and whatever you saw for yourself, that's who you really are. And when you peel those layers off, it's very important that you don't just go back to 5-year-old because you'll become 5-year-old. It's called age regression. You go back to 5-year-old joy, and then you grow it back up. Okay, now let's bring it back up to today. You know, we're 21 or whatever we are here. and then that brings you right back into alignment of self. I just got that so strong, so I had to share it.
Oh no, I'm glad you did, because I'm sure that there were many that needed to hear that. You know, I'm just thinking, wow, this is, you know, it's mind blowing. And I know that there are so many that are loving this. In fact, you know, Sharon just said it. Yes, there you go. You know, I want to cover a couple more things before I let you go, because you're just so fascinating. But, you know, I want to ask you this, and I didn't pre-ask you. So if it doesn't work with, you know, we'll talk about it. But I am, for our fundraiser, we're going to have it in Las Vegas. It's going to be on Giving Tuesday. And what I'm thinking about doing, because Giving Tuesday is a whole day, right? Our fundraiser in the evening, I'm thinking of maybe having some kind of a telethon or marathon that would be streaming media, and then asking for guests to come on and do, you know, like take an hour, half an hour, whatever period of time they wanted to do, and be able to, you know, be an MC and have some fun with the group. And I'm thinking that our chemo buddies would love, and if it doesn't work out for that day, we'll have you back, because we're going to start a chemo buddy show. And I'd love for us to just cover more of this information with you, and really go into it more, and then be able to have it where we cut it, and so that they can keep going back to it. Because I really do believe, Dante, that there are so many that are going to be coming to me and saying, I need more of her because I want to heal. And she's talking my language. Yes.
Tamara, okay. This is what I live for. This is, you know, I believe what I'm here on this planet to do. And I would love to even share some ideas with you of how you could actually monetize that more to get more donations, because there's so much that can be done there. But I am absolutely interested. And, you know, World Prosperity Network, we totally support you. And I know, of course, Easy Way will support whatever this is, whatever you're doing, because this is what we're about. We're about changing the world. We're about helping people. And we're all in this together.
Absolutely. You know, and I have to say, shout out to Eric and Zuli and James Zuli, because I know Eric is so supportive of Chemo Buddies for Life, and James, of course, his father, the cancer survivor. We've talked about this. You know, we're all on the same page, and yes, we're all in this together, and we're all that's what I love about when we started this, about the international piece of what we're doing here on the internet. And you are very tied in to all of the digital mediums, and you are helping through your brands and through the Easy Way brands to affect people throughout the world. And you guys are growing at an amazing pace. You have been working with the women's broadcasting, right? Women on TV.
Women on TV, yes.
Yeah, you've worked with them. And I know that you KXLA. I mean, there's so many. We can just keep going on all of the different things that you and the Easy Way brands. And haven't you recently been somehow involved with Stedman in his projects. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that? It's fascinating.
Oh, that is fascinating because, as you know, as I said, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be Oprah, and I even call myself Dopra. It's Dante Oprah. I know that's my nickname. I'm the Dope Oprah. No, I love Oprah though. But yes, such a dream come true to meet Stedman, and wow, what an amazing force he is. He's doing something amazing for the Youth Success Week. We're supporting him 100% on that, and because really the children are the future, and they're the ones who are going to be shepherding us. They're going to be our bosses one day. So whether or our landlords or whatever it is, they'll be in charge of things that we care about in the future. So I love working with him. He stood up and spoke. And if you don't know about Stedman, he's an educator himself, and it just has an amazing, tremendous heart for the youth. So we're going to be, I believe, working with his Youth Success television network through iLaunch and Easy Way TV. And so that is very, very exciting because we get to help them bring it to a larger level. And there's just an amazing group of people that is a part of the planning of the events, I should say.
And that is exactly what you guys do, right? Now, you just were telling me that there was this big, huge, all of this neat stuff going on, right?
Yes, so today, and it's so funny because, we have these huge announcements today. Eric had a live stream this morning, about our direct TV channel. So exciting. And I guess the power went off, which is hilarious because we have solar power here. I mean, we have enough solar power to power the whole neighborhood. And so I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in the shower, get ready for my interview with Tamara. And it's like, there's no hot water, there's no this and no that. And I'm going, oh. So we've been winging it. And I think that, sometimes the challenges show up. As much as technology makes our lives easier, sometimes it can make our lives a little more difficult. But I think it just made it more fun because I called you, and that's again about that communication. And I was like, I'm trying to type it and I'm like, how do I explain that my hair is all over my head and I can't wash it and all this stuff? And I'm like, ah. But it worked out perfectly. And you gave me the best advice. There you go, right there.
Yeah, and then I found this, and I thought, okay, I have to capture this. And then I also found something else. I thought, because you were saying something about your hair, and I found you were a former model of big, sexy hair, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Not only was I a model, I was the muse for the creator of the design of the line. And that's actually kind of a funny story that relates to my time efficiency because I showed up like an hour late for the audition, which you never do. I walked in the door and they were like, "You're cool, sit down." And they just pulled me into their family. I ended up being on the two of their product bottles on their website, their campaigns, and it went all over the world. First, it was in just the high-end beauty supply stores, but then it went into like every Walgreens. So it got to the point where I started changing my image because I didn't want to, I was like on this bottle and it was just a really cool thing. But it went on for 12 years that my face was circulated around the world on their products.
Well,
it was a really great experience.
I mean, I don't go into it too very much but you are truly a beautiful woman inside and out, Dante and Dr. Dante.
Thank you.
You truly are. And as we wrap this up, because I know I could talk to you forever, but I have
seriously, we are going to work together on some things.
Oh, wait.
That's
let me
hilarious.
I had to bring this up because let me bring that one down and let me put the appropriate one up because I had to find this because you guys, beautiful, you guys are hardworking, you are on top of everything, and yet you guys have a sense of humor, a lot of fun, always great to be around. I mean, I remember when we were over at Allison Larson's event the other day, not long ago, and you're doing your streaming and you're pushing all the buttons for all the different unique, this one has little hearts all over
faces.
And now they have flowers and now there's rain and you were just doing the fun You were keeping the
Yes.
fun in.
I like to keep the
And
fun in things. It's so
yeah,
important. We've got to laugh. We've got to enjoy, you know, and that's what I learned. You know, by the way, Tamara, I became a millionaire in my 20s by selling real estate. And I did it by doing the opposite of what everyone told me. And in the end, I found that the more buttoned up and professional I was, that didn't necessarily get me the big deals. It would be when I'm in my bathing suit running on the beach and I'd meet someone and they're like, I have a, you know, $1 million house to sell. And I'm going, oh, I'm not ready. But that fun I was having, enjoying my life, was actually what attracted them to me more so than when I was in my suit and being all business like, you know, to close the deal. So I always try to keep fun
right.
in everything. And we're just a couple of goofballs, you know. Eric and I, we like to dance, we sing, we rap, we do all these crazy things. And, you know, sometimes we have to just pull away the business and have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, remember I said humor, hope, and heart is what we you know, with my nonprofit. We do everything.
Oh,
Exactly.
H, I'm going to give this to you because in World Prosperity Network, it's mind, body, business breakthroughs. Body,
Ooh.
business, breakthroughs. Yes, I want to make sure I got all of them. So it's MB3. You're H3.
Well, there
H
you
to the
go.
third power. That's the Trinity, honey. That's beautiful. That's perfection.
Oh, you just gave me chills again. I mean, we could
I
go
got them too.
I'm still experiencing chills. You know, I don't know what I can do to produce them more than this because oh my gosh, I've totally been getting them.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, yep. I just want to thank you so much. You are an amazing woman, and
Thank you.
I've been wanting to get together with you and honor your hero and do it in a way that it was all about you and you were not piggybacking off some of the others that are around you because there's so many of them. So I wanted it to be your own unique time, and I hope that you're feeling it because you know you certainly deserve it. Everything you do, there's just an element of service in truly everything you do, even the fun. That's serving. You know, we got to have some fun. They say you need to giggle and laugh every day, and that serotonin doesn't, our minds don't know if we're forcing that laugh or not, and it's so healing for our
It's
souls and
so
bodies.
true.
Yes. So you know it,
Oh,
I just absolutely adore you. You know that, and I am so privileged that you were on today. And as we close, we're going to close day number, you are service number 128 of
ooh.
365 days of awesome celebrate success through service. And I want to thank you for being the service hero that you are, Dr. Dante. You are incredible. You serve so many, and your work will continue to serve. And I can see it going infinity, you know, because the people that you affect and the healing that you will do and everything that you have done and are yet to do, I can see that it will just never end, and that is pretty incredible. And though you had to experiencing something hard when you were younger, that you turned into a gift for others and an opportunity to serve others, and that's priceless. So thank you.
Thank you so
And
much for saying that. You are such a sweetheart. My goodness, I can't even counter that amazing, amazing, amazing thing that you just said to me. But I am so honored to know you and to work with you. I
well,
really
thank you.
am. You are truly amazing.
Well, thank you, and Sharon is saying congratulations, service hero. You are
Thank you.
now truly among, as as um Teresa Snyder calls it, the Service Heroes Club. I love that.
I
I
love that. And you know
love
what's
it.
really funny about it, Tamara, is it's really perfect because the number that you gave me adds up to 11, which is my number. And I was born on the first. And I'm like, wow, isn't there such a perfection in everything? It was like 8, 9, 10, 11. I added it up and I went, oh my God, that's me.
Well, maybe that's why you were meant to wait until today. So there you
Exactly.
go.
Thank you.
It is you. So as we end, I want to encourage others to. I love what you had us do with the breathing. You know, so if we can encourage and remember, because I have to say, I do. I sometimes hold my breath. I don't realize I'm doing
Oh,
it until
yes.
I realize it, and that I know is not good, and it's a
Yes.
habit. So
Mm-hmm. So
I'm
you
going to.
breathe?
Yeah.
And then speak. And that's something that I had to learn because I used to like speak and breathe at this time. And I was like, you know, and then it was like, oh, you breathe and then speak, right? And
Okay,
so
there
then
you
you're
go.
feeling your body and you're using your innerness to affect everyone outside with that speech, with that beauty that comes from your toes all the way through your body,
Awesome.
all the way
Awesome.
up and through.
So everybody that's out there, I hope you're all breathing, doing your breathing, exercising, and I want to encourage you to think about that. Write down, breathe, put it somewhere, put it a couple places, and remind yourself and check, because I didn't know about that until I actually did it.
You've got to open up the diaphragm when you breathe. It's so important to feed your body. You know, people, they get circulation issues in their legs and all that because they're not breathing. Sometimes I will actually focus my breath and think about just breathing into my calves, into my feet, into my thighs, into my arms, into my fingers. So if you know, once every hour, just take 5 deep breaths. Oh my gosh, the things you will do for your work, for your mindset, for your ability to communicate is magical. There's Pauline's
There
thing
you
right
go.
there.
We have the Pauline magical word going on, and we've got Dr. Dante has given us the magical. Every hour, 5 minutes, do your exercising of your breathing, and it will change the way things are happening in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the challenge. That's the goal. So if you can serve yourself and serve another by sharing this with them and have them watch this, because I know that all the chemo buddies for life, I'm going to encourage them to, and we'll have you back and we'll do something special with them. I just am so grateful for you, Dr. Dante, and
Thank you.
have
I'm thankful for you.
tell Eric, congratulations on yet another amazing, accomplishment with going live today, and
On DirecTV, yes.
TV of all places. He's just like, but you guys all are doing amazing stuff. So I'm going to let you go. Tell
Thank you,
them
dear.
all hello, James and Eric, and congratulations on that. Congratulations on everything you're doing. And yes, everybody out there, serve one another and remember to breathe 5 minutes every hour and see what happens. All right.
Yes, love it. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Tamara. You're
And I'll
amazing.
see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.